I think it's fair to say that the river was recognised right from the outset as a key armature on which the rest of the design was hung, or sort of structured around and formed.
Definitely, I'd say that the river and the depot are probably the two pivotal pieces of the overall master plan, which started to take shape back in 2016. I think that's why the park feels like it really lands and sits well within this site and within Manchester.
I think that's a really key point in terms of trying to reinstate this natural watercourse through this landscape and offer that up and all of the benefits that come with that when you spend time in this space, recognising of course that it's got 200 years of development history here that have been layered over the top of it. A key part of that has been an attempt to try and reinstate the sustainable drainage features that the river is the ultimate focus of, but as I'm sure you are only too well aware, that these tendrils extend right the way across all of this landscape to pick up the water and slowly manage it and return it back to this water course over an extended period of time, which in and of itself is bringing that higher degree of resilience and reducing the risk of flooding to this part of Manchester. And downstream, it's increasing its ability to be able to slow down and moderate the rate at which the water passes through the system.
The park attenuates the river's floodwater, but then the park also drinks water that's running off from footpaths and from future buildings. I think that the second part of that is a key consideration of every single project going forwards, and I think incorporation of rain gardens and things like that has become so much more commonplace. I think the biggest challenge from a water perspective here was about, as soon as you open up the river from its culvert, it behaves differently. It deals with a number of different climate scenarios, so the 1 in 100 year plus climate change scenario. The whole of this park can flood, including the Mayfield lawn space, and that's been set at a level that it can take floodwater without affecting upstream or downstream. And then it also allows for the plots around this park to, in the future, be able to still operate.
Here in Manchester we experienced some very, very hot temperatures during this summer, and the planting is really important here in the park and how it might ameliorate some of those worst aspects.
Yeah, well, resilience in terms of planting is all about different extremes. So one extreme, as we talked about, is the flooding in the river, but the other extreme is the drought tolerance, so planting that's going to do well in those warm conditions.